Hey guys, welcome back. At this point, this is part 3 of episode 8 of Let's Play JD Legacy, where we finish up the Poke Swamps. Hoorays! And yes, I do collect everything. At this point, you should already be given the sense of, yes, I collect everything. And you should already be given the sense of, yeah, it could technically be seen as a walkthrough. The only difference is that with a walkthrough, I tell you what you need to do. Instead, you just have this video. So at this point, and like I said before, you can just mute my voice sound. You don't even have to hear my voice anymore. Just mute it down and just watch the video for yourself. And still, to be perfectly honest, I really hate having to break these up into parts. I really do. I do. And then of course the next episode I'll be mentioning about how I'll be mentioning about the whole editing thing a lot more detailed-ish because of that episode specifically. Really. But here like this entire thing, it was all supposed to be like one big part. But unfortunately, the fact that I can't upload HD videos over 15 minutes long. I've mentioned this multiple times before. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep mentioning it. I probably will anyway, to the point where, yeah, I mentioned that already. Where even to myself be like, why the hell am I still talking about it? And yet I still do that. Oh yeah, if you probably already noticed the whole spin kicky thing where I went into the air, that was actually pretty cool. That was actually something I never expected. Interesting fact though, since I say that that I'm doing these post commentaries in the morning, guess when I did this recording of this? I did this recording back in was it late January? And this is when I had at least I had a good enough space to at least record up the Bowie Swamp and then the next section, which I will be covering in the next episode. So, and I was doing this all in one video. The problem was that this video had to be cut into pieces because the fact that it was so big that not even on my gigabyte flash drive, which had 20 gigs of free space, said it was too damn big to transfer. I'm not making this shit up. It literally told me that, and that pissed the fuck out of me. So I ended up cutting it into pieces. Of course, I had to cut these into pieces, of course, to make sure that they were less than 15 minutes. Yes, I had to do that. But which made it even worse was the fact that that when it came to Bowie Swamps, it was pretty simplistic. I've already figured out how to cut them off exactly and make sure I was able to do that. And I had to do this, I'm just going to say flat out 4 times. So the next episode is in one entire part. Sort of, which I will cover in the later parts, cover in the next episode. So, but the thing was that the problem is when it comes to me like cutting these parts apart, is the fact that when it does that it creates more space. That should be almost a given. Where if you're gonna cut stuff into pieces and you still have the original file on hand when you cut off said pieces, then all it does is create more space. Basically, it doubles the space up. So the entire file, which was a little over an hour, basically was basically close to 6 gigs. And I had no more space left at all to even do anything else. I could not. I'd probably get some pictures online, but you know, that's like a little shortcoming thing where that's like kilobytes. Like I could get a megabyte, like megabytes worth of pictures, and that would just be it. Not music, pictures. That's how low it was. And the fact that I literally had to cut them in half, and then I had to literally transfer those halves not to my main laptop, but to a flash drive itself that could not even try to get a 6 gig thing, which compared to the Broly documentary, the John Delancey one, which I do hope for it to see it at film festivals and you know, get as much big huge appreciations more than just around the Broly community, because I'm pretty sure the majority of my subscribers are, or at least subscribers that do watch me, they're probably not bronies. They probably know about the show itself, maybe not, and they probably have no idea about the fandom itself. But you know what? I'm not going to talk about my opinion of the Precursor documentary itself. I'm going to save that to later, way later. In fact, but anyway, the fact that the reason why I bring this up is because the downloadable file was only like 4 gigs, and I was downloading in basically 1080p quality, legally, of course, not the illegal Pirate Bay thing. No, I went for that Kickstarter, so I'm going to get my, because I'm going to get my Blu-ray copies with this bonus this, and then I'll be like, yeah, now I can finally review this and finally feel like as if, yes, it's a full completeness of how I feel about the documentary with the extra features and stuff. Anyway, but anyway, back to the reason why I brought it up. The downloadable file, I was bringing it up into its original when it was only 3 gigs. That was and it was literally just half of it, and the movie was basically like 2 hours long. So like this, like literally trumped it. And the fact that it could not get onto any flash drive at all, and the flash drive that was only open could not withstand a mass size like that, because the transfer thing, because in order to transfer stuff from one thing to another, there has to be some sort of temporary data portal opening, that I'm calling it, that allows it to happen. And there's not enough space to have that data portal opening happening. It's gonna give you a really hard time to transfer stuff. And of course that does piss me off a little bit. But yeah, that's basically how it comes down to that. That's like, yeah. So anyway, well, immediately after I recorded these parts, and it was like close to 4:30 in the morning. 4:30 in the morning, and of course I was on Skype at that time, and I was somewhat talking to a few people on Skype. Oh, mainly to this one person on Skype, and I'm just and of course I'm like rewatching. I'm like, okay, this seems like a good part to cut off, and then cut off exactly there, and then keep that part in mind, and then bring it up to where I am, to where those parts are, and be able to edit from there. So that way I'm editing it to the best of my ability, so that way it feels like a full-on continuation from one to another, like boom, boom, boom. You're not missing a single millisecond. That's how detailed I want to be when it comes to the editing process. But I can only do that with video. I wish I could do that with audio back again. Back when Windows Movie Maker was always opening for me. But due to the amount of space it requires to open it, let alone do anything, and the fact that my drive is that low in memory, even when I delete like close to 30 gigs worth of stuff, and it still gives me that warning saying that I can't open it. Fuck. That's all. That's like a true fuck. Like, what the fuck moment for me. And so I use Daxter Showbiz, which I'm sort of fine with as of right now, but I can only do it by video. I can't do it by audio. So of course I'm doing it by video, and I'm doing pretty well. And it's not until I get to the next episode in particular, which I will mention more along the lines of what happens there from there, while at the same time giving more perspectives as to how I feel about that section, of course. But yeah. But as far as anything else is concerned, I've most been trying. like all the free time that I do have, at least free time where like my computer will not work for me to the point where I can't do post commentary because of something I have to do later on, and the amount of time I have to do post commentary and like the time it takes for me to do it, run back, make sure that I record it all perfectly, make sure that the audio between the video itself there, so because I got a little sloppy in one of the episodes of Chain of Memories. I won't lie, I actually did a little sloppy, and I called it like a switch up failure, where I actually increased the volume of the gameplay more than the commentary itself. And unfortunately, as much as I wanted to bring it back, it was something that I did 2 weeks prior to it, where I deleted all like original stuff, because you know, immediately when I get this all done, like immediately after this post commentary is done, any original file I have for it, I just delete it right away, because it just takes up more space than it needs to. So at this point, right. But the fact of the matter is that because I ended up doing something like that, that I didn't realize the mistake of it until after I was replaying it before I upload, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't hear myself. And the fact that usually I will have like the original audio recordings, because usually I keep those for about longer than I need to, because I keep forgetting, oh, that also takes up space. So like at the time I was in a refreshing it and deleting all that stuff, but I didn't have the original audio for it, and it really pissed me off. And what's even worse is that even though I can upload videos more than 15 minutes and they're not in HD quality, if I want to do any sort of editing, I will have to make them 15 minutes long. So that's like an insult to injury right there. Rit slap to my like I'm not kicked to the balls thing, but a slap to the face. Oh really? Because it's all due to the copyright thing. I can't. It is limited me so much that I can only do so much, and then have those mistakes solely there. Because like I said, if I had the original audio, then I'll immediately put in the original audio and of course switch out, because currently, as I'm recording this, no one has seen that episode. So, or at least that's what the view counter says, because apparently it doesn't pick up cell phone, doesn't pick up like cell phone, or like people who use their cell phones to watch YouTube videos. It does not pick that up. It picks up likes and dislikes if you did it through a cell phone, but no, it doesn't pick up YouTube views at all. Because I know I do have one subscriber, and I do know he basically uses his iPhone basically to look up YouTube videos, to do a whole bunch of stuff on there. So whenever he was like commenting, he was commenting via his iPhone phone, and you probably see a couple of conversations I had with him with other videos. And this video is almost over, isn't it? Oh yes, of course. We're about to go into the next section. So I hope you enjoyed both these swaps. If you were listening to this conversation, then that's fine. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, because at this point you always need some sort of reminders, like a mindless zombie. Anyway, this has been Precursor Legacy. I'll be seeing you in the next episode, episode 9.